up everybody, it's Trickster back for another crazy video. Today we're gonna talk about my ex Atlas, who was my first true love. But before I continue, keep in mind this took place in grade 4 public school. So let's dive in already. 2014, at 9 years of age, I attended a very small school in the middle of nowhere and Atlas was a new student in the grade. A bunch of kids flocked to him like seagulls as I was sitting on a silver bench alone, when two bullies of mine harassed me. Atlas saw this and he came over chasing them away, saving me. I looked up at him as though he was my Prince Charming, that my knight had come to rescue me. Again, I was 9 years old and Atlas was 10. Give me a break. Atlas came over to check to see if I was alright, and it felt like a scene from a K-drama film. Later, once class started, Atlas was placed into the same class as me, which was 4Y, and the teacher told him he could sit wherever he wanted, and he chose to sit next to me. Both me and Atlas held eye contact, but I looked away. Atlas sat down next to me, which the entire class stared in shock as I was usually invisible and bullied. Atlas smiled as he grabbed out his stuff, but I tried to tell him to pick a different spot. You made a mistake sitting next to me.
No, I didn't.
Everybody hates me.
I don't.
One of the girls in the class came over with her friends and tried to convince Atlas to change seats. And the girl didn't even hide the fact she didn't like me. It was really obvious.
Hey, are you sure you want to sit here? I mean, there's other seats.
I think I'm perfectly fine sitting here.
She's a freak and useless, and I'm more talented.
Have you seen yourself in a mirror lately? Even a blind person can see how trash you are.
Atlas was pretty popular in the grade as time passed, and I would escape to the library, or my usual spot under a tree, which was a grave memorial. We became pretty close friends, and I would constantly draw in class. Atlas was a better artist than me, as all I drew were basic art. Atlas helped me improve my art so much in grade 4 that he was the whole reason I wanted to improve and became my inspiration. Then one day, while we were learning, Atlas slid a handwritten note. Will you be my girlfriend, yes or no? I drew a box saying maybe and ticked yes. Atlas smiled and I looked away shyly before we both got in trouble off the teacher. Afterwards, Atlas and I would sneak off to the library every single recess and lunch, and we even had a date there. Atlas and I built a fort together using books in the library, and we sat with our lunch boxes as we set it up a picnic holding hands. Atlas and I spoke and laughed together, but once Atlas opened up the fort, so many kids were sitting around listening. Atlas was pretty upset and I ran out of the library embarrassed, and kids wouldn't stop making fun of us being together. Atlas didn't care though, and we didn't let anything get between our relationship, not the cosmos or people, and every single chance Atlas had, he would always hug me or hold my hand, to the point we got in trouble for PDA because I sat on his lap. Again, grade 4. Even though this sounds cute and all, Atlas was very protective and possessive towards me because there was a lot of abuse going on in my life at the time and I had epilepsy. One time, Atlas was running late to school and one of the boys in the grade grabbed me by the throat in the bathrooms, forcing me to say Bloody Mary. This ended up traumatizing me so much as I began to suffocate, but Atlas ran just in time to save me as I collapsed. Atlas was so infuriated that both him and his best friend chased the guy but quickly ran back to see if I was alright and helped me carry to the office, and even sat with me with the nurse to check to see if I was alright before letting me go. But after this, Atlas didn't let me out of his sight, not even for one split second. More time passed by with our relationship, and my mum ended up meeting Atlas's mother, though the two never got along. Atlas's mother took a photo of me and Atlas together, and my mum got into an argument with Atlas's mother, which made me tear up. But even though my mum didn't like Atlas's parents, I ended up going over to his house in the school holidays once, and it was the first and last time. Upon arrival, Atlas greeted me and we walked inside, and I found out he had 3 older siblings, one in year 6, one in year 8 and one in year 12. We ended up playing Minecraft together in the lounge room, then ate cookies and milk while drawing on the bed together as we cuddled up and talked. But at the end of the visit, my mum and Atlas's mum got into an argument and mum dragged me into the car and I was banned from seeing Atlas ever again. Once school went back, Atlas approached me, but I stepped away crying as I was told I'm not allowed to see him anymore. But Atlas tried fighting for our relationship, promising that nothing can separate us. but we both came to an agreement to break up because of my mother. Staying away was impossible, and we got back together because we didn't listen to my mother. The rest of the year flew by, and Atlas and I would continue to go to the library, always talking about our future. Atlas was the only person I felt loved by until our tragic end. The last day I saw him was the 4th of November 2014. I had no idea I was going to get taken. I'll see you tomorrow! I escaped in 2017 and I ran back to the same town from Maitland, only to discover that he was gone. Apparently after my removal, my mother came to the school crying, and everyone believed I died, including Atlas. Everybody came to the conclusion that I had a seizure. Max said there was a memorial made for me, and Atlas took it pretty hard that he killed himself. Spencer didn't go back to school either. Hearing this, I broke down as I erased every single memory from my mind, feeling responsible that I lost him. Joe Mack comforted me, but I left town as I didn't want to go back.